Hi, I'm Nick with Kentucky Spin, back here again with another Youth Talk. This Youth Talk's topic is going to be on how to be a contributing community member. So, when it comes to being an active contributing member of your community, there's a few things you want to really think about, like what does your community life look like right now? What do you think of when you picture your life 5 years from now? What do you kind of want to be, and what kind of image do you have of yourself? And becoming a contributing member of your community is probably something you haven't thought too much about. However, it is something that you need to be thinking about as you're preparing to transition out of high school and going into your adulthood. And preparing to contribute to the community is really important because your community will provide you with a lot of supports and connections and activities that can help you lead a successful adult life. Where you will live, work, and play will make up everything it means to be a contributing community member, and preparing to become a contributing community member now will help drive your transition out of high school and start you on your road to independence. First, when it comes to being active in your community, something you need to think about now is where are you going to live? Where do you live now? Where will you live? This is a topic that I know that we've gone over in a few of our other presentations. A lot of it's living is really important for transition, and it's just important in general. So forgive me if it seems like I'm repeating myself from a previous topic, but where you live is really important when it comes to being active in the community. You need to think about, like, are you going to live in the city? Are you going to live in the country? If you live in one of those places now, how is that going to change? Because there's a lot of different factors that come up depending on where you live when it comes to being active in your community. When I mentioned transportation, it's really important because if you want to have that social outlet and you want to be active in your community, it's a lot easier, say, if you're out in the city because everything's a lot closer and there's more public transportation and more options to get around the city and be able to see and interact with people, as opposed to living out in the country where you might just be living off by yourself with just your immediate family, and there might not be as much social or an easier way to get out and interact with other people. And then you want to think about job stuff, like where you want to work, and remember that there's a lot of different types of jobs, and these jobs can also differ depending on where you live. When I mentioned transportation, if when you get a job, you want to be able to know what type of transportation you have access to, so that you can get to your job easier if you need transportation assistance. And knowing what type of job you want to work and being prepared for what type of responsibilities and things that can come along with that job as well. Because when it comes to being active in the community, especially if you're working like a 20-hour, 30-hour, even a 40-hour week job, most of your time is going to be at that workplace. So your coworkers, your managers, customers, if you're working in some kind of service, the people that you're serving, that's going to be a lot of your big community interaction is going to be at your workplace. So it's really important for you to consider where you want to work and if the place you are working is a good fit for you or not, because that's a place you can be at a workplace for several years, and the workplace, unless big things happen, they typically don't have big drastic changes. They have like slow gradual shifts, like where people might leave, they might quit, new people get hired, but there's rarely ever like a big drastic change. So you're gonna get really used to just how things are going. So you need to be ready and prepared to be able to work that job and work that area and be used to that community being the way it is for a long period of time. So you want to make sure it's just a place that you want to work and where you want to spend most of your time at. And remember that having a job is important because that is a big way. It's also a very consistent way. If you're someone who really needs a lot of consistency, having a job is a very consistent way to get out of the house and to have that consistent social interaction. And then when it comes to being in a community, if you're not working or you're not at work, how are you going to socialize? Even if you do have a job, what other ways are you going to get social interaction? Because it's really important for you to get out and socialize and interact with some other people some way. I recommend in the city to, if you're looking for things to do and looking for ways to kind of break the ice and get out and start interacting with people, go to your public library. Look up online, go through their website. And you can even, if you don't know where the public library is, you can always use Google or some other search engine to find out libraries that are near you. And you can go to that library's website and look up what kind of activities they have. Most libraries They have free events going on all the time, all throughout the year for various different things. So many different topics. Like I know that my public library, they do like they have meetings for like different hobbies. They do like cooking classes every now and then. They have like book clubs. There's a lot of things that your public library can offer, and you just need to just check and see what kind of stuff they do. Otherwise, besides libraries, you can always, depending on what type of stuff you're interested in, you could always search up if there's any near like lounges or bars or things like that, things that you might be interested in going to. You can always look up to see if what kind of stuff like that's around. Search engines can always tell you what type of entertainment is nearby, like if there's any good movie theaters, if there's like maybe a mall, like a good mall nearby, or if there's like a any game stores near you. I know me, like once or twice a week, I'll go to my local game store, and I'll go there and do like play like card games, maybe some board games. I go and I'll meet my friends there like once or twice a week, and we'll just hang out and we'll just play games. But otherwise, it's just really important for you to consider how else to get social activity besides just work, because you don't want to just use your workplace as your main source of social interaction. You want to try and find other ways to go out and meet people and hang out with your friends and things like that. And also, like when it comes to social activity stuff, you don't even necessarily have to always leave the house to do it. Like me, I was a really good friend of mine. Me and him, we're both big movie people. We love watching movies. So we'll like go to the theater, or even then we'll just like once a week or once every other week, he'll come over to my house and we'll just watch movies like on the TV. Like we'll just watch like a couple movies that we haven't seen or that one of us has seen, the other one hasn't, and we'll just watch a couple movies and we'll just talk about it and hang out. Like when I talk about socializing, that doesn't mean you have to go into a big public space with a bunch of other people. It could just be something as simple as just meeting up with one friend and just going somewhere quiet and just hanging out and just doing something that you both like doing. Um, so there's a lot of different ways you can approach it. It's just again just really important for you to have some kind of social outlet where you can interact with other people. It's really important for your adult life and for your mental health as well to have some kind of social outlets and interactions. Be it working at a job and interacting with coworkers, or meeting up with friends outside of work, or anything like that. It's just good to have a social outlet to for your mental health. So again, it's just to reiterate everything. It's just really important for you to know that your community has a lot of resources and connections and support that they can give you, and you just need to kind of go out there and find it. And things like where you're gonna live, work, and social interactions, all that stuff is really important for you to be a contributing community member. And yeah, that's all I have for this youth talk, and I'll see you for the next one.